If you could change one personality trait of yours, what would it be? Maybe it's gotten you into trouble in the past. It's left you feeling embarrassed or ashamed, and you wish it wasn't a part of your character. We get it, okay? Those flaws are frustrating. But what if we're making a mistake by trying to box them up and keep them under lock and key? What if they're secret superpowers? Well, they are, okay? If you can admit, embrace, and appreciate your perceived flaws, then you can also direct and control them to get them to work for you instead of against you. You can capitalize on your own flaws and leverage them for your success. Now, just a heads up before we dive into things, today on the Alux app, we dive deeper into everything we're talking about in this video, giving you the tools and action steps you need to take to actually turn each flaw into something that accelerates your journey to the top. And we've got a special offer. Click the QR code to download the app, fill out the survey, and you'll get a special 50% off discount from the yearly plan. I'll be right in there with you for every single daily lesson, and we're so excited to have you there. But okay, enough about that. Let's get into the nitty-gritty, shall we? Here are your 15 biggest flaws you can and should capitalize on. Starting off at number 1, you're impatient. Impatient people want rapid results. This can rub others the wrong way, especially lazier, more relaxed people. But those people aren't the ones who are going to elevate your success. Being impatient is a catalyst for quick decision-making. It drives urgent progress in projects and investments. And it's a myth that just because a job is done quickly, it means it's not done well. If something isn't done well, it's got little to do with timing. It's all about the person doing it. Because you can deliver incredible quality work much faster than anyone else if you've got the talent, work ethic, and time. So use your impatience as a vehicle for doing things faster and better than everyone else around you. Be the first on the market, the first to create a new product, or the first to deliver on the proposal. Whoever is first is the one that people remember the most. So be first, be good, and you'll always be the most memorable. Number 2, you're a huge procrastinator. Now this one's kind of crazy because even our team on this very channel, we've spoken about the downfalls and pitfalls of procrastination so often, right? But then we started thinking about it. Procrastination is such an inevitable part of the working process. We spend so much energy trying to fight it, right? We feel guilty about it and spend hours putting productivity tools in place so that we are never caught procrastinating. And then you know what happens? Well, we do it anyway, right? So we thought about it some more and realized that maybe we're doing it all wrong. What if we spun the flaw of procrastination into a time of subconscious idea development? We can generate creativity and solutions during that downtime. If you structure your procrastination time just right, then it can lead to creative breakthroughs and innovative solutions. And that's a whole lot better than just wasting your time. Number 3, you're risk-averse and scared of taking chances. Here's another perceived flaw that humbled us just a little bit. You see, we love a little bit of risk, and we've been saying for a long time that to get a chance, you have to take a chance. And to get to that next level, sometimes you have to pull a Mario and Luigi and take a running leap with no rope. And we still stand by that, but if you're risk-averse and the thought of taking a chance scares you, that doesn't necessarily mean you're never going to reach the level of success you want. There's a way to turn your fear into a useful tool. Being risk-averse doesn't mean that you won't take a chance ever. You feel that way because you don't have all the information yet, which means that information gathering is your superpower, so use it. Get as much information as possible. Look at all of your avenues, think of all the problems you could face, and come up with solutions for them just in case. Now when you take a risk, it's more like a calculated move. You make smarter, more sustainable decisions. Being cautious is a gateway to creating thorough strategies, so lean into this. That is how you acquire secure, high-quality assets. Number 4, you are oh so stubborn. Now, being stubborn is seen as having a lack of flexibility, right? You don't see other people's point of view equally and you think that your way is the right way all the time. It's annoying for the people working with you, but it's also a firm adherence to your values and goals. And if your values and goals are strong, then what's wrong with sticking to them? You can reframe stubbornness as resolute determination. And ultimately, that will help you to push obstacles and keep you focused on long-term goals despite the challenges you might face. On the one hand, you might miss important perspectives when you're being stubborn, but on the other hand, that quality is going to help you stand by your unique vision despite the skepticism. That's how people set new benchmarks in their fields. Did you know that initially people pushed back against Coco Chanel's unique style? Imagine if she had listened to them, okay? She redefined women's fashion, so it would be a vastly different place if she did. Number 5. You're competitive and always want to win. Being competitive is a powerful motivator. It's a driving force for innovation and excellence. So don't ever stifle it, okay? Society makes us feel slightly ashamed for being competitive. We feel like we have to push it down or box it up because it makes other people uncomfortable. But this is what's going to push you to create superior products, to come up with the best ideas, and to deliver quality projects. We have to find a way to balance that competitiveness while still being kind and understanding toward other people. It can be quite an off-putting quality, right? Sometimes because there's a level of arrogance associated with competitiveness, and sometimes because it makes people face the fact that they're coasting along. So be competitive and be proud of being competitive, but don't throw it in people's faces, okay? You need to maintain a loyal, strong network. So let your competitive nature drive your energy and motivation, but tint the windows just a little bit. Number 6. You're a sensitive person in a cutthroat world. In the cutthroat business and career world, sensitivity seems like a weakness that just isn't gonna cut it. But oh wait, my friend, being sensitive gives you a great capacity for empathy, and this translates to a deeper knowledge of your customer and your client's needs and desires. You know exactly what they want or need because you have the unique ability to put yourself in their shoes. You deliver excellent service. You speak to them how they want to be spoken to, and you deliver on the products or projects that they actually need. This is an incredible emotional intelligence tool that helps you to understand and predict what your clients want. The best and most smooth-talking salesman might seem confident to the point of arrogance, but underneath that, they're incredibly sensitive. They use that to talk to customers like they're in the same position as they are and on the same level. And this creates satisfaction, rapport, and loyalty. Merge sensitivity with confidence, and you've got a winning combination for success. Number 7. You overthink everything. Raise your hand if you've got a friend or colleague who's an overthinker, and their overthinking delays projects and causes you to miss deadlines and opportunities. Okay, now raise a hand if you are the overthinker. It's analysis by paralysis, right? Nobody moves, everyone's stuck, and it sucks. And in those situations, there's like no way to imagine overthinking as being a redeeming quality in any way, right? But what if we told you that Warren Buffett was known as a perpetual overthinker? He challenged his overthinking into a more productive path. Instead of trying to be impulsive, he honed his talent by learning to control it. He became a deep thinker, which allowed him to let go of the analysis paralysis of overthinking while still using the analytical skills of someone who thinks deeply. And with this, he's able to identify undervalued companies that possess a moat, a unique advantage that allows them to fend off competition and maintain profitability over the long term. His investment philosophy also includes a strong ethical component, preferring to invest in companies with sound management practices and sustainable business models. And he can only do that because he spends so much time looking into the company. And he can only do that because he embraced his talent for thinking deeply instead of trying to change it and behave like his peers. Your overthinking can be a talent if you lean into it and learn to direct it instead of allowing it to direct and control you. It'll lead you to deeper understanding and better prepared strategies than anyone else in the game. Number 8. You're impulsively defensive. This report is unacceptable. It's full of errors. Why can't you get this right? This work is sloppy. Those are pretty harsh words, right? And managers and bosses need to be able to communicate better. That's not how they should be talking to you, but sometimes it does happen. If your knee-jerk reaction is to reject the feedback, if you give a range of excuses, you counter-criticize, or disengage and withdraw from the conversation, then Houston, we've got a problem, okay? Because you're impulsively defensive. Now, being defensive is pretty simple. You're just protecting yourself from criticism, perceived danger, or rejection. You're reacting to shield your ego or self-esteem from the perceived attack. And the reaction that's most effective at taking the heat off of you is something volatile and scathing, like the excuses, the counter-criticism, and the withdrawal. But you can defend yourself without all that fanfare, okay? You can take the heat off of yourself in a more productive and honestly more effective way. Now, right off the top, your defensiveness shows that you're engaged and affected by the feedback and criticism. It shows that you care about your performance and how other people see your work. And it comes from a desire to be seen as excellent. So you've got all the passion you need to be great at what you do, but you now have to create a gap where you see feedback as a tool for you to be the best rather than something designed to bring you down. Ultimately, that feedback is touching on something that needs attention, right? The delivery might be harsh or abrupt, but they're telling you that they want you to do better. You can't control how a message is delivered, and while you don't deserve to be spoken to that way, using your defensiveness to impulsively lash out is only going to land you in more hot water. So learn to be strategic with your defensiveness. You do this by asking for examples. Ask your manager how they would have done it and what they would change. And go through every part of your work that they're criticizing, write out the steps for how you're going to work on it and do it better, and ask them to be clear and precise about their expectations. This gives you a chance to genuinely improve. It shows them you're making an effort, and importantly, it allows you to see if their criticism is valid and if they actually know what they want from you. If they can't point out those examples and clearly explain where you went wrong and what they want from you, then you have to know that nothing you do is going to cut it, because in that case, it's not you, it's them. Number 9, insecurity. You know what? As you get older, you realize there's a really small percentage of people living in the space between insecurity and arrogance. Most people are either on one end of the extreme or the other. Not everyone is secure or confident about everything in their life, and even many arrogant people behave that way just to mask extreme insecurity. But we digress, okay? This one is for those of you whose insecurities feel so strong they seep into every aspect of your life. Your relationships, career, your business prospects, networking opportunities. It's the ultimate downer, the biggest roadblock. Or is it? People who are insecure are always seeking to improve, always trying to do better, right? You make it your mission to overcome your weaknesses and build up your strengths. Your lack of confidence forces you to prepare more for things and makes you pay attention to smaller details. And ultimately, these actions lead you to become really good at what you do. Meryl Streep is considered one of the greatest actresses ever, but she's always doubted her own talent, and this doubt has pushed her to rigorously prepare for her roles. Maya Angelou was an incredibly successful writer and poet, but she also openly spoke about her struggles with insecurity and dealing with imposter syndrome. Imagine that, okay? Maya Angelou feeling like an imposter? Being insecure doesn't mean you're not good at what you do. In fact, it could push you to become great at it. When you manage insecurity and direct it positively, well, you can use it as a tool for success. Number 10, perfectionism. Ah, yes, the ultimate answer to that job interview question, what's your greatest flaw? It kind of led us to believe that perfectionism isn't a real flaw anyway, like it's some kind of humble brag. Unless you actually are a perfectionist and you know the toll it takes on you and those around you. As a perfectionist, you've got high standards that you never see yourself reaching. Nothing is good enough, so you struggle to start and then you struggle to finish. You're plagued by stress and anxiety because you're pursuing this unattainable ideal. And you've got unrealistic expectations from other people too, so that strains your relationships. But once a perfectionist can get themselves off the ground, oh baby, they are unstoppable. So how can you do that? Well, it's super simple, but so effective. Before you even start, you've got to set a realistic goal, okay? Be very specific about that goal so you know when you've reached it. Once you've set that goal, you can look at other examples of what you need to do. See what other people have done. Could you do better than what they did? Has someone produced something that you would be happy with? Think about how they got there, and then you'll know if your goal is realistic or not. That's it. That's the strategy, okay? As a perfectionist, you can't just start because you'll go on and on forever, always adding more to your plate. You need to know your destination before you begin, and from there, you'll know you'll find the fastest, best, and most scenic route. And that's it. That's your 10 flaws, Aluxer. And I know we promised you 15, and we'll still deliver on that. You can access all of them and so much more on the Alux app today. Click the QR code, sign up, and get that discount. We've been working hard to give you the most tailored, relevant content that will help you make a massive improvement in your life over the next 3 months. And here's how, okay? You do the survey. From there, our algorithm calculates which of the 5 pillars you can improve on most. Is it finance, your emotional intelligence, your intellect, physical health, or your relationship wellness? Then, we create and deliver a tailored learning path that will help you to reach your goals, and our courses come from experts in their fields. We are really proud of what we've created over there, and we've been able to do it because of you, Aluxer, your encouragement, your feedback, and your stories about smashing your goals. Now it's time for the next step. I'll be right there with you in the app. Let's go.